Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel. I'm writing my first children's book. I'm so excited, y'all. And since I'm already halfway through, I wanted to come on here and show y'all or tell you about my journey and help you along the way. This will be a series of videos. So in this video, I'm going to talk about how I got the idea to write my children's book, how I researched how to begin to self-publish, how I got started brainstorming what I wanted my book to be about, why did I choose a children's book versus another type of book. So those are some of the things I'm going to touch on. Hopefully this is not too all over the place. Why did I want to write a children's book? One of my goals for myself was to write some type of book. In my mind, I've always thought about novels, chapter books, and I didn't necessarily know how to write a book. So upon doing research, I seen a lot of people did children's books. So many different types of books that you can make, but I chose to do a children's picture book for age groups between probably about 4 to 8. A book can be as many pages as you want it to be. If you want a book with 4 pages, it can be 4 pages. If you want it to be 100 pages, it could be 100 pages. I solely chose to start with a picture book because I have never illustrated a book before. I've never wrote a book before, and I thought that would be the simplest for me to write. Before I got started, I watched a lot of TikToks. I watched a lot of YouTube videos. And a lot of people will tell you off bat that you would spend or that they spent a lot of money. I've seen people say they spent $1,500, $2,500, $4,000. And I realized through my research, people are spending this amount of money or that much amount of money to go into their book because they're outsourcing all of their materials. So when I decided to do my book, I said that I was going to outsource as less as I can. I was going to try to do everything myself, which is why I'm doing my own illustrations, which is why I'm writing my own story, which is why I'm trying to figure out how to write my own manuscript, while I'm trying to figure out how to format my own book, upload the KDP, upload the Ingram Smart. I'm trying to figure out all of these things so I don't have to keep outsourcing all of these materials, because even when looking at an illustrator, and this is getting a little bit too far ahead, so I'm not going to touch on this too much in this video, but looking at an illustrator, most illustrators only charge, these high prices for 1 character, 2 characters, 3 backgrounds. So you only get in 2 or 3 pages out your book, at least from my understanding. Maybe I understood something wrong. I was looking at Fiverr and Upwork for these materials. So I said, no, I'm going to go back to the drawing board. I'm going to figure out, because I do not want to go in the hole trying to make a children's book and then it not sell great. Now, I have high hopes that my book is going to do great. I'm manifesting. I'm praying about it. I'm just hoping for the best. Now, before I go any further, I'm writing this children's book for Brand, Braden, and Samari. I'm gonna pop a picture right here, and this video is inspired by them, for them. So while I'm writing this book, it's my book, but it's also their book. I'm setting them up for success, so they are going to be listed as illustrators on the book and the copyright. That's another thing. I get to copyright everything because I did it myself. So I'm not going to give too much away about what my book is about. I'm not going to tell you the story. I'm not going to show no illustrations. That'll be in another video, because I want to make sure all of my I's are dotted, T's are crossed, and nothing will happen where somebody can steal my idea. That's why I'm waiting. I waited so long to start this video or this series. Let's go all the way back to February 17th, 2024. So the beginning of the year. I first researched different types of children's book genres. So you got biographies, fantasies, folklore and folk tales, historical fiction, realistic fiction, non-fiction. So the different types of books you have is board books. That's for kids 0 to 3 years old. Those are normally around 300 words max. Then you have picture books, which are targeted around 4 to 8 years old, which range between 600 to 1,000 words. Then you have early readers, targeted for 5 to 8 years old. Those are normally maximum 2,000 words. Then you have chapter books. Those are 6 to 10 years old. Those are normally around 8.5K to 12,000 words, max 20,000 words. Then you have middle grade fiction, which is 8 years old to 12 years old, which is normally around 30,000 to 5,000 words. And then young adult, which is 12 plus, so ages 12 and older, and those are now normally around 45,000 to 80 words. I chose to go with picture books simply because, like I said, this is books inspired by Brand, Braden, and Samaria, my little cousins, but it's books for them, by me, and them. They are 2 about to be 3, 5 about to be 6, and 6 about to be 7. So my target audience for them would be pictures books, which is 4 to 8 years old. I think it's around almost 700 words, so it's almost at that thousand. I think I'm just like a few hundred off. I simply did all of that research with a quick Google search. You can find everything that you need, and then you have like different websites and everything like that. I also looked into Amazon KDP and Ingram Spark, but I think I'm gonna make a completely different video on that because I still have to do a little bit of digging around and research on there. I do know though, for those wondering, that I'm gonna go through Amazon KDP for my paperback book, and then I'm gonna go through Ingram Spark, I think, for a hardback book, because Amazon KDP you have to have a maximum or a minimum of like 70 something pages, and a children's book, a picture book, is normally 32 to 40 pages. My picture book I think is gonna end up being like 32 pages. I'm trying not to go beyond that, but I don't want it to be too long, but it has to meet that minimum, you know, page for a picture book. I then after that started trying to brainstorm, what do I want my book to be about, and I kind of pulled again from Brand, Braden, and Samari, like their lives and like things that they do. And when it came to deciding what I wanted my children's book to be about, I wanted it to be educational or semi-educational, because I was thinking about how could I market this, why would people want to buy this book, what would pull them in. And I felt like if it had some type of educational base to it, foundation to it, I don't know if that's the words I'm looking for, it's not, but if it had some type of educational thing to go along with it, then that would be more of an incentive for parents to buy it or check it out of the libraries for their kids. Also more of an incentive for, you know, stores and all of these other places to buy your book and put them on their shelves and things like that. So with saying that, I decided to do affirmations. Like I was saying, I was trying to teach the kids about affirmations. That's something we're working on, it's something we're teaching. And so I just started listing out a whole bunch of affirmations. Now I'm not going to tell you which ones I decided on. I'm just going to read off a few of the basic affirmations that you think about, but I also didn't want it to be like 365 affirmations for kids. Like I didn't want it to be a book like that. I also went on Amazon. I think I'm gonna insert a little screen recording up here while I talk about it, but I also went on Amazon and searched like just different types of book titles for kids, or like affirmations that came up, just to kind of see how it was looking, what it was looking like, how many books were on Amazon like that. Was it overly saturated or was it hardly saturated at all? So I kind of did some playing around with that, and then that's how I determined what exactly I wanted to focus on. So some of the affirmations that I found for children, again, I just did a quick Google search of like affirmation for children, and a lot that came up was like, I am enough. I'm reading from my notepad here. I am enough. I am smart. I am unique and special. I am brave. I am confident. I can do anything. And like the list kind of just goes on and on. I don't know if it's focusing on I'm an amazing person, I'm capable, I'm worthy. And then I kind of just went from there. This is a whole back sheet of affirmations for kids. And I just kind of went through and started the ones that I thought would go good for the concept of the book that I've had. Now, I did struggle with an idea of a book, and a book can be about anything. So I decided to ask the kids, if you could write a book, what would you want your book to be about? Or if I wrote a book about you, what could the book be about? And they kind of gave me some ideas, they kind of didn't. So what I did is I started pulling from things that I used to do in my childhood with the cousins that are close to my age, and things like that that I would have liked to see or like to do that obviously I couldn't actually do in my childhood. And that's how I came up with the concept. Now I'm not going to tell you the concept until a little bit later on in this series in a different video, but that's kind of how I just thought, like did the brainstorm. I asked the kids for their input simply because this book is for them, by them, for their age group. So what are, 4 to 8 years old 8-year-olds thinking about? And so they kind of gave me some input, and then from there I kind of just pulled from my own childhood and put some things in there as well. And then from there, that was pretty much it. I started to, at first, so I'm gonna give you some of the ideas that they told me that they wanted it to be about being big cousins. So Samaria is already a big cousin. She has Brandon and Braden both under her. Brand is already a big brother. He has Braden under them, and then obviously all three of them are cousins. But my cousin Bree was having twins, or she had twins, and so they were all three, now going to be in that role of like being the big cousins to babies. So they really wanted the book about being big cousins, but I didn't want that because I didn't feel like it would be so relatable. So I just played around with that, with titles for that. We're going to be big cousins, becoming big cousins. And then Double Trouble, Great Adventure, that was based off of Brand and Samaria, because they used to have a YouTube channel called Double Trouble. We ended up changing it to Brandon and Samaria. They still have a YouTube. I'll pop it up here as well, but I didn't go with that. That was just a title. I wanted the book to have some type of adventurous journey. So after that, I wanted the book to be about the kids. I wanted the characters to look like the kids, but I didn't want them to necessarily have their own names in the book. So I didn't want the characters to be called Brandon, Braden, and Samaria, simply because Samaria's name, like, even though for me it's easy to read, that's my cousin, I know how to read her name. Brendan, Braden, I didn't want people to be mispronouncing their name, so I wanted to find like a more common name. So Brandon found his name first. They all chose their name, I think, except for, I think Brand actually chose him and Braden's. And then I kind of just asked Samaria if she liked hers because she wasn't over at that point when I was picking the names. But I kind of did some different, just, you know, like paired names together, like what names go best. I will tell you the character name because it doesn't matter. It's not taken away from my book. Brand absolutely loved Leo because his favorite character from the Ninja Turtles is Leonardo. He loves the Ninja Turtle. He loved Leo, so we ended up going with Leo. When I asked him, what do you want your character name to be? He said Leo. So from there, I started looking at L names, more boy names, because we needed one for Braden and then for Samaria as well. I wanted them all to have L names. I thought that was really cute. So Braden in the book is Levi, Brand is Leo, and Samaria is Lexi. From there, I just kind of started writing. I worked on my summary, and it's not the best summary. I probably won't use this summary, but I was like, let me make a summary for the idea that I have, and that will help me write with the writing process. But we're not going to get into the writing process yet. I just wanted to come on here and let y'all know that I am writing a children's story and what I did to brainstorm, how I researched. Hopefully something in this video helps you in your progress. And if you are looking to self-publish a book or write a children's book, I'm doing specifically a children's book, but if you want any tips and tricks, make sure you subscribe to my channel, turn on your post notification bell, leave any questions you have down in the comment section, and I will either make a video for that specific question or I will respond in the comments. But I know when I was specifically doing my research here on YouTube, it was hard to find people that could actually give me, you know, a visual example or, you know, tell me about their experience specifically, because they were outsourcing this. Everybody wants to be a teacher, but nobody actually can teach because everybody outsourced all of this stuff. Their entire book, they didn't nothing. They got somebody else to do it. They took the easy way out. So I'm gonna just tell y'all about my journey. Hopefully, if you're writing a book, my videos help you along the way. And this will be a series, so I'll see y'all back in the next video. And make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Turn on the post notification bell and leave any comments that you have down in the comment section below. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.